everyone, I'm Hope from Hopefully Cosplay. Welcome to Storytime. Today I'm dressed as Santa Clawhauser, and we'll be reading a holiday tale, Polar Bear at the Zoo. Do you know the story of Teddy Maline and his wonderful trip in a flying machine? He made a visit, 'twas just last year, to Santa Claus and his 8 reindeer. One lovely day when the sky was blue, he went with Sister to visit the zoo. Nearly all of the time while there, he spent at the den of the polar bear. For Polar Bear had such curious ways that all he did was to gaze and gaze, with a look in his eyes that seemed to say, "My mind and my heart are far away, in a land where I never more may roam, in my ice-bound, snow-capped Arctic home." That night when Teddy was snug in bed, visions of Polar Bear filled his head. Thought Teddy, oh, wouldn't it just be grand to carry him back to his native land? Then just as he closed his sleepy eyes, he heard out of doors in the starry skies the gentle hum of his airship pranks, and Teddy murmured a word of thanks. As donning his coat and a cap of seal, he jumped to his seat at the steering wheel. Then out and away in the friendly night, he sailed and sailed by the pale moonlight, when lo, in only a moment or two, he found himself once more at the zoo. He muffled his engine with greatest care, and landed quite close to the polar bear, then tiptoeing lightly took a peep at the kindly keeper fast asleep. With softest of voices he whispered low, "Dear polar bear, would you like to go on a midnight journey through the air? Do say that you will, polar bear." The bear arose and with lumbering feet climbed aboard and was strapped to his seat. Then softly the engine started its purring as upward the airship went merrily whirring. And they were warm, of course, in their coats of fur, and to neither of them did it occur that Teddy Boy's coat, though fit for a king, was not like Polar Bear's fur, the real thing. Said Teddy, "Dear bear, does the blue book give the route to the place where you used to live?" "As to that," said the bear, "it was at the pole, next door to the Arctic swimming hole. I'll take the glasses, and when I spy the northern lights in the polar sky, and when I behold an ice-capped dome, I'll know that we must be nearing home." He had scarce stopped speaking when in the north the shifting lights came straggling forth, now pale, now bright, now low, now high, like rainbow ribbons in the sky. "Aha!" said the bear, "there stands the pole, and right beyond it the swimming hole." So down swooped Ted from his wondrous heights, right over and through the northern lights. With ease he circled around the pole, and dipping close to the swimming hole, he landed his ship with never a shock, at just midnight by the polar clock. The bears came running from near and far to see what looked like a shooting star. But coming closer their wonder grew at sight of Polar Bear from the zoo. They had heard by wireless of Teddy Maline and his trip to Santa by flying machine, so they recognized him, of course, at once, and welcomed them both with loving grunts. Around the pole they capered with vim, then all went in for an ice-cold swim. But oh, how quickly the time did fly! The northern lights grew dim in the sky, and Teddy was wondering what he could do to coax Mr. Polar Bear back to the zoo. And suddenly, greatly to his surprise, the bear looked up with his dreamy eyes and said, "Well, Teddy, alas, alack, I think we'd better be getting back. To tell you the truth, I mustn't stay, because tomorrow is Saturday. I have an appointment with 2 small girls with big brown eyes and sun-kissed curls. And then there's Jimmy, the boy who's lame. I couldn't be happy if he came and looked for me as he's sure to do, and found I'd run away from the zoo. There's a little old lady who every day just smiles at me in her friendly way. Then there's my keeper, so kind and true. Oh no, dear Teddy, it would never do. I've enjoyed my visit to the pole. I've liked my bath in the swimming hole. But not for worlds would I stay away from my dear little friends on Saturday." They jumped in the ship and soon were far, out in the sky like a twinkling star. They floated home by the Milky Way and landed safely at break of day. Said Teddy at breakfast, "I'm very glad my polar bear friend isn't really sad. When he looks at you with mournful eyes, it's only his way of looking wise. And there's nothing on earth he'd rather do than just be polar bear at the zoo." So the polar bear was happy being who he was, and his friends were his family. So wherever you are this holiday season, and whatever holiday you're celebrating, be you and love the family that you've found. Happy holidays.